Our next speaker comes to us with a background that speaks for itself. Generations of agriculture within the family name to a combination of over 20 years of military service. Please join me in welcoming Lieutenant Colonel retired Dan Swanson.
Thank you. What an honor to be here amongst friends and family and fellow veterans. First, I want to start off by saying good afternoon to our Gold Star family members, and God bless you for the sacrifices you have made. Also to all of our veterans here today, our great American heroes, Illinois heroes that are here with us. Governor Pritzker, Lieutenant Governor Stratton, also Director Prince, Director Costello, Mayor, and other distinguished guests and fellow legislators. It's great to be here with you. And I'm going to get in trouble for saying this, but my wife Tammy is with me here today. If you'd like to wave your hand, Tammy, thank you for being here with me. I was elected state representative of the 74th District, and now I'm honored to serve as a minority spokesperson of the House Veterans Affairs Committee and the Illinois Veterans Advisory Council. As said, I have over 27 and a half years military service. Kind of fractured, though, if you will. I was in 23 and a half years, enlisted 9 of those, and then 14 years as an officer, and retired in January 2001 on National Guard and active duty. Seeing a lot of my friends and soldiers I trained with go to war, I volunteered out of retirement, went on active duty, spent a year in Iraq from July 1st, 2007 to July 1st, 2008. Serving in Iraq as a deputy commander of Iraqi Fourth Generation, building the Iraqi Army. I returned home, put back in retirement, and then volunteered and got called up again. In April 2010, and spent 3 years with the Army Sustainment Command at the Rock Island Arsenal as we transferred a mission from the Pentagon to Rock Island Arsenal, where we saved many jobs at Rock Island Arsenal with that mission transfer, leading military and civilian members. Once again, I was put in retirement in April 2014 and then hired as a superintendent for the Henry County Veterans Assistance Commission. So whether I was in uniform, if I was not in uniform, I was working with our veterans. Before I go any further, I would just like to take a few seconds and ask each of you at this time to stand up, we've been here a long time, and introduce yourself to 3 veterans that you're near. So I'll take just a little bit to do that. Please. Introduce yourself to 3 veterans. All right, now if I can get you all to come back together and find your seat. I just want to share with you why I had you do that. I asked you to do that because veteran suicide takes too many of our brothers and sisters in arms every single day in Illinois and across our nation. In that short time, I just showed you how easy it is to reach out, introduce yourself, and get to talking to another veteran. All of you, all or most of you, may recall during your military service you had a battle buddy. Whether issued to you or assigned by your drill sergeant in basic training, or your own personal relationship you established at your duty stations, you had a battle buddy. For those who are not familiar with that term battle buddy, let me explain. A battle buddy is your closest friend. A personal relationship built upon a strong trust and confidence. One of those trusts and confidences of I have your back friendship in all matters. Someone you can go to discuss a relationship, maybe discuss some combat issues, or discuss some trying times. A true go-to person and friend. Even though, like many of you, my Army days are behind me, I still today try to make a little time each month to reach out to some of my fellow soldiers and just check into them. The challenges veterans face are not unique to the individual and sometimes another veteran can break through some of those walls that we all put up as veterans. When I say those walls, it's important to understand that the emotional walls put up by soldiers are not meant to be exclusive to shield our fears from non-veterans. Rather, the emotional walls constructed by veterans are yet another way that many feel they are protecting their neighbors. The horrors of war weigh on these men and women in a way they seldom wish to burden their fellow citizens. Even when it comes to trauma, the soldiers tend to be ever vigilant in taking on the burden themselves, so everyone can enjoy their freedoms without the burdens of the sacrifices that were needed to defend those freedoms. Soldiers helping soldiers. And I use the term soldier. I was a soldier, but also you can plug in the word sailor. You can plug in the word Marine. You can plug in the word Air Force. You can plug in that military term you want to use. But Americans not only owe a great deal to our soldiers, but American soldiers owe a great deal to each other. We know those horrors, those traumas, and those experiences that we shield our fellow Americans from. We owe it to each other to check in, to talk when needed, and to be there for each other, once again, soldier to soldier. Whether you are a veteran or a civilian, please say thank you to veterans for their services. Show thanks, show concern. Show them the heroes welcome they deserve. And whenever possible, when they choose to let you in on their experiences, their thoughts, and their fears, listen and share with them your heart as a payment back for their sacrifices for all of us. If you don't have a battle buddy that you served with, make a new one. It may be your neighbor. It may be somebody you meet down at a meeting. You never know, you might just save a life of a hero through a simple act of kindness. It was a simple gesture as we just did here a few minutes ago. I also want to suggest to all veterans to join a veterans organization. If not for yourself, then for your fellow veterans. Every veteran has a story. Only another veteran can fully understand shaving and brushing your teeth out of a steel pot. Wadding up your poncho for a pillow only to wake up with rain pouring down on you, to exchange your poncho pillow for a field jacket so you can cover yourself up with your poncho. Every veteran has their own story to tell. If you recognize a veteran's hat like many of us are wearing here today, know that is a veteran showing respect to other veterans. Show veterans respect. Ask them about the branch of service, what they did, and end with a thank you for your service. It is critically important we make veterans aware of the benefits we have earned through our service. While serving as a superintendent of the Henry County Veterans Assistance Commission, I had a Korean War veteran come in seeking financial and medical assistance. He had bayonet wounds to his belly and had Purple Hearts, but he did not know he was eligible for VA health care. Within less than 30 minutes, one phone call and one fax, I was able to help that veteran get on VA health care. That simple. We need to educate our fellow veterans. If you don't want the benefits, think of your family as well. You deserve military honors at your funeral and a grave marker for your service. Sign up for your family, if not for yourself. They've been very generous in letting me speak today, and just before I go, I've got one more story to tell you. A veteran friend who's on my list of veterans to call often, his name's Harvey Brenton. Harvey's a veteran who I met at a veterans event in Galesburg. After getting my plate of chow, I saw a veteran sitting by himself. I asked him if I could sit with him. He said yes and told me his name was Harvey Brenton. He was proudly wearing a World War II hat. We struck up a conversation. When I asked about his service, Harvey got real quiet, telling me he enlisted in the Navy at age 17. Enlisted at the age of 17. He got real quiet, like I was going to call somebody. Hey, I found him finally, you know? He lowered his voice and whispered like a secret for him to protect. Harvey enlisted before he was old enough because his parents couldn't take care of him on their family farm. Mr. Brenton joined the Navy within the first couple months of service. His Navy destroyer was attacked by a Japanese airplane, causing the onboard ammo to explode, throwing him in the Pacific Ocean and sinking his ship. After several hours in the water, he was rescued treated for shrapnel wounds to his hand, forearm, and shoulder on a hospital bed, evacuated to a hospital to recover, and then sent home for part of his recovery. After recovery, he was sent back to battle, serving on another ship. This time, he served out his time and returned home to Augusta, Illinois. He served honorably, earned medals for bravery, and made it back home. When Harvey got home, he wanted his GED. He went back to school to see if he could get his diploma, and the superintendent told him, "Sorry, can't do that." It was his desire to always have his high school diploma. He took a test at Western Illinois University but never got the results. He said while walking into the college he met some friends coming out who told him there are 400 questions on the test, Harvey. Answer the easy ones first and then go back to do the hard ones because you only have an hour to do it. He wanted nothing more to know if he had passed all those years. As a Henry County Veterans Assistance Commission and a new friend with Harvey, I called Western Illinois University. They didn't have his results. They suggested I call the Regional Office of Education, which I did. ROE said, "We don't have his results." They said, "Call the Navy." Well, we all know the Navy's a big place. But I was finally able to get a hold of somebody who told me they didn't have his test results. Harvey had gone to Colchester Schools, which is now Southeastern. I called Mr. Fox, the Southeastern School Superintendent, and asked him if we could honor Harvey in some way. He called me back and told me that they would like Harvey Brinton to officially graduate from Southeastern Schools, and the Board of Education would present him a diploma at the next board meeting on 27 July. I called Harvey to tell him about that, and it was silence. A week before graduation, I called him and said, "Harvey, my wife and I are going to attend your high school graduation 70 years later. I'm offering to give you a ride if you'd like." He said, "Well, my son's coming home from Florida. My sister, my sister-in-law, and several other family members plan to attend his graduation ceremony." Harvey's whole family was there. The way I saw Harvey Brinton stand in front of his family, friends, and school board is something I will never forget. He was aglow. I asked Harvey to check to make sure his diploma was signed, that he didn't have any overdue books or something. But it was signed, properly signed by the superintendent and that board president. Harvey's wife would later tell me he was so proud he went to bed with the diploma in his arms that night. For those of you who don't know, on August 21st, 2001, the Illinois State Legislature passed legislation giving school boards the authority to grant high school diplomas to World War II and Korean War veterans who left high school before graduating in order to serve in the United States Armed Forces. So there's a way to start up a conversation with a Korean War veteran or a World War II veteran if they graduated. I know there's more Harveys out there. They deserve the same feeling and pride and accomplishment. This is why it's important to talk to veterans. I talked to Harvey this past Friday. He's doing well. After serving his country, Harvey came back home, became a very successful bricklayer and businessman in Galesburg area constructing brick homes. I called Friday afternoon. I had to call him back Friday evening because Friday afternoon he was out supervising a bricklaying job. Another bricklayer had some issues and wanted Harvey's opinion at 93 years old. I've shared this story with you to honor Harvey, one of my battle buddies who I talk to often. And if you'd like, you can view Harvey's graduation ceremony at YouTube. Just search Harvey Brinton. It'll bring a tear to your eye. Thank you again for the opportunity to be here. Most of all, thank you for your service to all our veterans, to our Gold Star family members, to our honored guests. And God bless you. Have a great day. To the veterans.